Hey everyone, how you doing today? I thought I'd drop in here just for a little bit and talk about this event that's coming up. It is, let me just double check something, make sure I have audio. Hold on one second, please. Yes, everything sounds good. Everything sounds good on the live stream. I have to check that. Sometimes there's little glitches that happen. So, something came out today that was a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, I posted on Twitter this morning that, let me just pull that up here. I posted on Twitter this morning and I said, actually, I had this graphic. Can't open the page. What the heck is that? Well, I'll just pull it up here. Well, let me just close that out. What I said was, Apple's comments recently, when they responded to the editors, professional film and TV editors, one of the things that they said, expanding the content and frequency of Final Cut Pro workshop for major film and television productions. And I said, expanding? If you're expanding something, that means that they already exist. It doesn't say starting, it says expanding. So, content and frequency of Final Cut Pro workshop for major film and television production. Are they having these workshops already? Have they been having them? Apparently they are, I guess, but because they said expanding, they're going to be expanding those. So I had a couple of questions on Twitter and I said, what will these new workshops be like? And will they be open to all editors? Or is it just like invite only to some TV production and film production editors? That was two of my questions. And is the Final Cut Pro team going to be at all of these workshops? Or is it just going to be something else? We don't know. We don't know anything about those. And then there's the question of, let me pull this up. There's the question of the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. How did that get turned on? That shouldn't have been turned on. There's the question of the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Well, the summit is going to be different this year. I'm not going to talk about that specifically, even though I know some things that's going on with that. It's not going to be the same as it has been in years past. And as you might expect, last year was virtual. The last 2 years have been virtual. In 2019, they had an in-person summit. It looks like it's going to be a combination, but that's probably pretty well expected for most events these days. We'll be talking about that coming up in the future. But today I want to talk specifically about this University, Final Cut, let me see, what is it called? Video Creator University. That's what I want to talk about specifically. This is the Video Creator University. This is it. It's just been announced recently, and it says produced by Future Media Concepts in partnership with Apple. It says, we are gathering the biggest names in the industry to bring a multi-day training conference for those interested in enhancing their social media presence and building their online channels. Okay? That's what it says. This is for video creators, YouTubers, social media people that are on social media. But it's in partnership with Apple. Right? This is in Los Angeles. This is going to be in LA. That's one of the things. Let me pull this down a little bit. It's going to be in LA. So that's at the heart of things, right? This is different. The other conferences that they've had with Final Cut Pro, what do they call those? The summits, the creative summits, they have been in Cupertino, right by Apple HQ, One Infinite Loop and the Spaceship Campus, both. This is going to be in LA. So I'll be curious how this is going to play out. There are some interesting things. Let's go back to the web page here. So this is what the web page says. Create content that resonates. Gain insight into workflows from the biggest names in the industry. This is not the first thing I was talking about. This is not what Apple is doing with going to TV and film. Don't get the two confused. This is not that. We still have to see how Apple is going to do their thing. Don't know how that's going to happen. Is that going to be private sessions? You meet with a couple of people from the Final Cut Pro team to voice your concerns, maybe have lunch or something. Don't know. Do not know. Let's read that one more time. It says, expanding the content and frequency of Final Cut Pro workshop for major film and television production. Expanding the frequency and content of Final Cut Pro workshops for film and the TV industry. That's not what this is. This is not that. This is something different. This is Video University. It's interesting, our friend Steve Martin's going to be there. If I attend this, I'll let Steve buy me a hamburger. Let me go up here. So, rates and registration. They have different virtual, free. Well, nothing's free, but in this case, it's free. This is the one I'm interested in. Access to Expo night. This is in person, obviously only in person only. I mean, it's obvious that's only going to be in person. Access to Expo night. That's when all the vendors get together and they give away prizes and everybody, it's like a party. So that's going to be Saturday night, August the 27th. It also says raffle prizes at the same event. Front row seating at all sessions, VIP access to meet and greet. So there's going to be a meet and greet. VIP lunches with speakers and VIP drop-ins. VIP drop-ins. There's some discounts if you want to do that. Let's go back to here a second because there's something. one other thing I wanted to mention to you. Who should attend? It says this event is suited for beginners and intermediate creators, whether you're a student, freelance video editor, content manager looking to expand into social media strategy. The Video Creator University is an event for you. The event schedule will include a variety of online training sessions, case studies, and networking opportunities. This is what I'm interested in. The in-person networking event includes a meet and greet with instructors, influencers, and the Apple team. It says, and the Apple team. So that's going to be on the one day, on the Saturday, August the 27th. Now, 3 years ago, it might have been the same day, August the 27th, they gave us Final Cut Pro 10.4.9. Does anybody remember that? It was in August, which is very unusual. So who knows? August is an unusual month. I guess LA is pretty hot in August, right? That's what I presume. So there's going to be a meet and greet. There's going to be lunch with meet and greet people. You're going to meet with the Apple. It says the Apple team. I presume they mean the Final Cut Pro team. And there's an Expo night with prizes and giveaways. That's all happening on Saturday, August the 27th. This is not the FCP Creative Summit. This is something else. This is the beginning. The Creative Summit is going to be announced anytime now, sometime over the summer, maybe a little later. The details are getting worked out on that. I know how it's going to look, but I'm not going to say anything until Future Media Concepts comes out publicly and makes the announcement. It's different than it has been in the past. I will say it's going to be both virtual and in-person, combination of the two. That's all I'm going to say at this point. So, what do you think? Is anybody interested? I'm not sure how that's going to work out for me in my schedule, but hopefully I can get out there for the Saturday event. I've been to the last 3 or 4 in-person creative summits. I've been to the last 3 or 4 in Cupertino, whatever that's been. We'll see if I can get out there for this one in August. Look at that nice bird. This is the backyard. You can see in the upper right hand, well, the middle, actually. It's the garden. My girlfriend's working on her garden. She likes to garden a lot, so that is what that is. Grass is green. I just mowed it this morning. I have a 0-turn, an International Harvester, no, not International Harvester, Cub Cadet 0-turn mower. I have 1.5 acres of land, and I mow about 1 acre of it. There's half an acre that's down, what we call the lower 40. Half an acre is down below that I don't mow as often as I do the front yard and the backyard. Just mowed it this morning, but I have this 0-turn, and it is fantastic. I love that thing. It's really fast and very efficient mowing. So, but anyway, what do you think? This is Video Creator University. This is not the Creative Summit, and this is not what Apple promised about visiting TV and film places with more content and more frequently. I don't know how that's going to look. Hopefully that's coming up soon. The Creative Summit should be announced. They should be making an announcement sometime over the summer. We're looking at the 4th of July weekend in the United States coming up. This weekend, Saturday, I'm going to a parade on Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday is the actual 4th of July, the Independence Day of the United States. So, what do you think? No comments? Let me just make a comment, make sure they're coming through. I think they are. Well. Oops, what the heck? Boy, it's weird. There we go. We got a comment. In person sounds fun. Travel for me, especially that distance limited to remote only. Learning and working with others is a passion of mine, though. So if I go to that, of course, I'll be streaming live. I'll cover the expo. I'll cover whatever. I'll cover some of the luncheon. I'll cover who's there, as I normally do. If I go there, I will be covering that live for everybody who can't make it. I'm going to presume I'm going to be going. LA, I'm not familiar with. I don't know LA that well. I've been there one time, Hollywood, when Brad debuted his Off the Tracks documentary at LACPUG, Mike Horton's event. I was there for that for one day. I flew in one day and came back the next day. So this is on a Saturday. Friday is travel day. So if I go, I'll travel on Friday. I'll get to LA on Friday, get to the hotel, check in overnight, attend all the events on Saturday, and then leave Sunday morning. So I'll be there 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. That's what I'm planning on if I indeed go to that. So it's interesting, because a lot of things. Normally, well, August is interesting because it's going to be hot, right? LA is going to be hot. So make sure you get a room with air conditioning. That's one of the things I want to say. So there's 3 things happening. This university, Creator University, and then there's the Creative Summit, which has not been announced yet. I know what's going on there, but I'm not going to say anything until Future Media Concepts makes their announcement. And then Apple is supposed to be visiting TV and film production with expanded content. Thomas Collins says, probably watch it online. So if I go, I'll stream it like I normally do. And as much as I can. I mean, the Expo night, I've streamed the Expo nights for the last 2 or 3 summits. That shouldn't be a problem. Of course, I'll need an internet connection. That's always one of the things that I will need. All righty. This is our backyard. Look at that little bird flying around. I'm actually getting some of the large trees cut down next week because they're dying. All righty. So what do you think about that? Do you have anything to say? It's interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting event. Very interesting. Let's look at it one more time. So here it is. You go to videocreatoruniversity.com. Let me pull that up. I'll post that on the website. On the main thing here. Let me do that. I'm going to do this. Whoop, that's wrong. Add. There we go. VideoCreatorUniversity.com. That's where it is located. VideoCreatorUniversity.com. Just take that off. Save. Take it off. It kind of reminds me of Justine Ezerick's iJustine Vlog University event hosted by FMC in support from Apple. It would not surprise me if she's there. She's been to the Creative Summit before, so it would not surprise me if she's there. Steve Martin's going to be there teaching. I know what he's going to teach, but I'm not going to say anything until they make their announcement. And I know, like I said, I know what the Creative Summit's going to be, but I'm not going to say anything until Future Media Concepts makes their actual announcement, which should be coming up at some point, don't you think? Probably. People have to make arrangements. So, unleash your creativity, tell your story. This is for beginner to intermediate video creators, mostly social media. So he says, here's how you can join us either in person or online. This is the passes, but once again, virtual is free, virtual VIP, 1 free day online. And then this is the in-person VIP. So I guess on Saturday they're going to have some sessions, is what this is. It says front row seating in all sessions, VIP access to meet and greet. So the meet and greet, and there's your discounts. If your education, 35% off, 15% off for alumni. But according to them, you're going to meet the Apple team, it says. Now, the in-person networking event includes a meet and greet with instructors, influencers, and the Apple team. Now, I'm going to presume that's the Final Cut Pro team, right? Since Apple's sponsoring it, I'm presuming that's going to be the Final Cut Pro team. That's what I would presume. All right, I think I'm going to head out here. It's, what temperature? 79 degrees on the East Coast of the good old USA. We have officially started our summer. On the East Coast, I think they're winter time. Our friends in Australia, I think it's winter. We're going to be celebrating the 4th of July weekend here in the United States, Independence Day. The day we got our independence from Great Britain, 1776, July the 4th. It was actually overnight. Started on July the 2nd, July the 3rd, July the 4th. I used to work at the National Archives where we housed the actual signed document. Something's interesting you might not know. That document that was signed, it's parchment paper. It was signed by all the original founding fathers. It didn't exist on July the 4th. That signed document did not exist on July the 4th. It didn't come into existence until later, mid-July, and it was signed by most of the principal signers on August the 2nd. But the document was drafted, and there was a document, but it wasn't the one that was signed parchment paper, the one you're familiar with. It was taken to the printer and stuff. I worked at the National Archives, and I was kind of surprised when I found that out. All right, everyone, what do you think? So this is the news today. Video Creator University. Video Creator University, happening August the 20th. Well, it's happening the week. They're having virtual sessions. Virtual sessions first. So you can join from anywhere in the world. Tune in from the comfort of your own home with our interactive online platform. You will be able to interact with our instructors, chat with fellow attendees, network during our online conference days. So they're going to have a schedule up, obviously, shortly, talking about what the sessions are going to be. So there's going to be sessions on Wednesday and Thursday that are virtual. Wednesday and Thursday, virtual sessions online. Friday is travel day for all the attendees, the instructors and people. If I go, I'll travel on Friday. I'll get there on Friday and stay overnight Friday and Saturday night. And then the big session is all day Saturday. Hopefully I can get there and stream, cover it live, film it much as I can to have it. Hi from the UK. Always enjoy the show. Thank you very much. All righty. I think that's it for today. That's all I really wanted to say. Of course, when Future Media announces what's happening with the Creative Summit, I will come back on. If there's any announcement, any movement in Apple, talking about any more information about the TV and film programs that they're going to be sponsoring. I guess they're going to be traveling around and visiting places, or have one in LA, one in somewhere else overseas. They'll probably have one or two over in Europe, 3 or whatever. That will be interesting. So there's some activity happening here. I have one question for you. I've talked about the Apple event happening this fall, which they have not announced yet, but it's very likely Apple is going to have a Mac event this fall, like they have for the last 2 years. 2 years ago, they announced the original M1, the 13-inch, the Mac Mini, MacBook Air, I think. 1 year ago, they announced the MacBook Pro that I have, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. This year is probably going to be the M2 something or other, not the MacBook Pro. That would be very unusual because that would only be a year between updates. Probably the Mac Pro, but I'm not convinced that it's going to be the Mac Pro because they didn't say anything at WWDC. And every other time there was a Mac desktop coming out, the year it was coming out, it was always announced at WWDC, starting with the G5. The G5, they announced it at WWDC. Then they had the original cheese grater Mac Pro. They announced it at WWDC. Then they announced the cylinder Mac Pro. They announced it at WWDC. Then they had the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro was announced at WWDC. All these came out later in the year. They didn't come out at WWDC. They came out later in the year. Then we had the 2019 Mac Pro. They announced it at WWDC. It came out in December of that year, 2019. This year, there was no announcement of a Mac Pro. Zip. So either Apple is breaking with tradition, or maybe they weren't sure if they can deliver it in 2020 through 2022, or whatever. But I'm pretty sure they're going to have some M2 Macs out this fall at an Apple event. The question is, will they have Final Cut Pro 10.7 at that Apple event? Will that be released at the same time or around the same time or previewed? I say yes. I say M2 Max, whatever they are, M2 Mac Mini, M2 Pro, whatever. If it's the Mac Pro, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll take a look at that to see if I get one. I don't know if I will or not. I'm very satisfied with my MacBook Pro at this point. I'll probably wait for the M2 MacBook Pro before I decide. I am not in any hurry. But so Final Cut Pro 10.7 at the Apple event or around the Apple event, sometime around there. The question is, will they update Final Cut Pro between now and 10.7 in the fall? That's the question I wanted to ask. Do you think they're going to update Final Cut Pro? It's at 10.6.3 now. Do you think we're going to see 10.6.4 between now and, let's say, November? Do you think? Very certainly possible. It is certainly possible. They came out with 10.6.2 with dupe detection and voice isolation. Two big features in 10.6.2. 10.6.3 was a bug fix. 10.6.4 could once again be a couple of features. It could be a couple of features. I think they're going to come out with 10.6.4. That's going to be my guess. 10.7 in the fall, around November, around Thanksgiving. And between now and then, maybe in August again, who knows, when they put out 10.4.9. Who knows? Let me just check on something here real quick. So one of the interesting things that has happened, pleasantly surprised, is on Twitter, when I go live, they used to just have, let me delete that. They used to just have a single line of text. And when I go live on Twitter, I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Facebook, and I'm live on Twitter. They used to have just a single line. Just a single line that said, the title of the stream. Now they've started to put in an actual preview of the video. They just started that, so that's exciting. Although we'll see. I think so. It would be a big whole number jump if they didn't. But they've done that in the past, right? They went from 10.5 something to 10.6, and they went from, 10.4.9 to 10.5 was, you're right, that had 10 iterations. But 10.5 to 10.6, 10.5 to 10.6 was it 10.5, 10.5.2? And they went to 10.6? So we're at 10.6.3. It would not surprise me to see another feature or two slip in with 10.6.4 between now and the time 10.7 hits in the fall. Would not surprise me at all. Live voice isolation, I think he means love. I wish they would add AI-based color correction tools, exposure. Yeah, absolutely. The more, the better. Yes, I think so. 10.7 or maybe Final Cut Pro 11. I think it's too early for Final Cut Pro 11 yet. I think they're still working on what that's going to be. The thing about Final Cut Pro 11, they might charge for that. Who knows? I mean, if that would be a big update, they might charge for it, so we'll have to see. Incremental updates really help drive the productive development and word of mouth. They absolutely do. Absolutely do. Hi, Richard. Ross from Vancouver Island. What features do you think they will bring next? No idea. I have no idea. I know some things that they haven't released yet. That's an audio mixer is in there. An audio mixer is in Final Cut, and the scrolling timeline. Both of those are in Final Cut, but they, for some reason, whatever reason, they have not made them live yet. So I know those two features are in there. But, with the M2 coming out. I mean, the M1 Ultra Studio that came out in April. And I'm going to guess it's going to be, they already released the M2 chip. So I'm going to guess it's going to be the M2 Pro and the M2 Max at the fall event. I'll be curious to see what the Mac Mini looks like, the M2 Mac Mini Pro / Max. If it comes out this fall, I'll be curious to see what that looks like. Probably not for me. I like my MacBook, and I'm in no hurry. I have a 2019 Mac Pro. I'm in no hurry to buy another Mac. But sometimes when it came up with something new, I can't resist. Now, I will be getting the iPhone 14, which will be coming out in September at the iPhone event. I will be updating to the new version of, what is the new version of the Mac OS? It's Ventura. So the beta for Ventura is coming out, the public beta for Ventura is coming out in July, and I have a 4 terabyte SSD on my MacBook Pro. I would never get less than a 4 terabyte anymore. I'm going to be dual booting Ventura and Monterey. I'll have a dual boot because I don't want to completely wipe my Monterey version of my MacBook Pro, but I'll be installing the Ventura version because of Stage Manager. Stage Manager looks very, very cool. I really like that. Because I have a lot of screens around. Look at all these screens I have. I even have, matter of fact, oh, that one's over there. Let me pull it over here. This is my preview and program monitors. And as you can see, let me see where that is. Right down below there is my audio level. That's how I keep track, make sure that's the audio that's going out to the stream. I also have these. Oh, sound effect. I have turned sound effects up. I also have this. I also have sound effects that I can play. I can keep track of the audio down there. But I have, this is my big screen, and I have panels everywhere. So Stage Manager, when I have multiple windows open, I really like the way it looks as long as it works properly. So I have Ventura now and really like Final Cut Pro on it. That's excellent. I did a dual boot on the M1 Mac Mini. That's what I'm going to be doing. I have a 4 terabyte SSD. I have a 2.5 terabyte available. So I'm going to do a dual boot. I'll split the SSD and I'll install the Ventura beta on a small partition until it becomes stable. Only reason I do that is for Stage Manager. I want to try Stage Manager out. I'm sure there are a couple of other benefits, but that's the main thing. Ventura, Stage Manager. There's the backyard. Do we see any birds? There are a couple. It says, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Back to live mode. There we go. There's the backyard. The storage is huge, and you are wise to use it that way. So Jacob Rush says, why not do an external SSD boot? I have 2.5 terabytes that's not being used on my internal. I have, as a matter of fact, I have this one. So this is actually a 2 terabyte Thunderbolt SSD that's very, very fast, but it's not as fast as my internal SSD. Of course, I have other ones too. By huge, I mean an asset. Final Cut Pro needs a DR Magic Mask style rotoscoping. It can be done. They have the technology. That would be phenomenal. You're talking recovery and backups. All right, hold on a second here. I have to get rid of this clown. Idiots. 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 It's very easy for me to hide you on the channel. Ban you from the channel, as a matter of fact. There shouldn't be no more. I thought I deleted them. Let me just check here. Remove. I'm just removing some idiot that's on the channel. I think, according to my end, that should be gone. I've removed those idiots, whoever that is. But anyway, yeah, it says deleted. Yeah, yeah. It's simple. I monitor my live YouTube, and anytime something weird, there you go. I reported them and blocked them too. Absolutely, I banned them from the channel. So they think they're just idiots, little robots, or people who have nothing better to do. You are an idiot. The people that were spamming, but that's okay. I'm on top of it. I can delete them immediately. Delete them from the channel. So anyway, I'm thinking Final Cut Pro 10.7 and the M2 Mac coming out this fall, but we also have the Creative Summit. What's happening with that has not been officially announced. And whatever Apple is doing with their thing that they're going to do with film and production television, it says, what does it say? It says expanding the content and frequency. Expanding the content and frequency of Final Cut Pro workshops for major film and television productions. Expanding means they already have some of those programs already happening. I didn't know they were, but I'm curious, are they going to be limited to film and TV production, Are normal editors going to be allowed? Are normal editors going to be allowed? We'll have to see. Or is it going to be private only? Is it going to be private? Just the TV and film? And is the Final Cut Pro team going to be there? That's the other thing. Is the Final Cut Pro team going to be there? Don't know. So here we are, Video Creator University. This was what we're doing. And this is happening, if you can see it, August the 24th to the 27th. Now, the thing about it is, the 24th and 25th are virtual only. And then the 26th is a travel day for all the people that are presenting and stuff on Saturday. And then Saturday probably starts pretty early. Probably starts 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It says you wouldn't go for the whole conference. Well, the first 2 days are virtual. So there's no reason. I don't even know if it's not going to even be there in LA. Virtual, everybody's going to be at their own office or whatever. Somebody might be there, but people are traveling to LA on the Friday, which is the same day that I would go. So he says, I learned for broadcast and am unemployed, but still follow and learn. I have my eyes on the prize and hope that no one will be excluded. I think the same thing. So I hope that they don't exclude regular editors from those sessions. Now, if they go into a company, if like a company sponsors a meet and greet with the Final Cut Pro team, maybe it's just to get feedback and to talk to film and TV editors to see the kind of things that they want. They've done that before at the Creative Summit. Every time I've been to the Creative Summit in Cupertino, we've had private sessions with the Final Cut Pro team. We had, number one, we had a presentation at One Infinite Loop. We never got to Apple Park. We weren't promised. They were supposed to go to Apple Park, but we never got there in 2019. So we went to One Infinite Loop, where the team has their office. They have a theater there, small theater auditorium, and they do a presentation for us there. Then we go to like a demo room, whatever the new stuff was. We go to a demo room where we can try out all the new features on new machines or whatever. And that's fun. That's usually on Friday. Then Saturday, the main event is the Final Cut Pro team comes to our hotel conference room, and we have a private session with them. We can ask questions. We can submit questions in advance. No guarantee they're going to answer your question. No guarantee. But it opens up conferences. Now, I'll tell you, the stuff that's discussed there is not supposed to be discussed outside of the room as far as anything that shouldn't be discussed. But one of the things we discussed last time was dupe detection. Dupe detection, 2019. Well, we got it in 2022. They knew about dupe detection back then, so they worked it out and they've given it to us. Now, they gave us voice isolation, which was nobody was talking about voice isolation, were they? I don't think so. Nobody was talking about that. Does the Pro Video team work out of the Apple Park or One Infinite Loop? They worked out of One Infinite Loop prior. But That's where the presentations were. But now they have offices in Apple Park, because at the Creative Summit the last 2 years, the virtual one, they've done their presentations supposedly from Apple Park. So that's where their offices is. Now, some of the team might have offices somewhere else. Some of the team might be working virtually. Don't know. I mean, I presume that's the case some of the times. But we'll see how all that goes. All right. I think we're doing good. So we got some things to look forward to. Maybe Final Cut Pro 10.6.4 between now and in November. In November, Final Cut Pro 10.7. These are my predictions. Final Cut Pro 10.7 in November, along with the M2 Pro, M2 Max, 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 MACS, like the Mac Mini. Maybe, I don't know what else they're going to do. Maybe a new iMac with the M2 Max chip. Don't know. I would be pleasantly surprised if they came out with the Mac Pro this fall. But I would be less surprised if the Mac Pro came out in 2023. Like-minded people need like-minded people. Imagine how the round peg feels surrounded by square holes, probably lost and out of place. I'm not sure what that applies to for this live stream. But anyway, I'm going to plan on going to the Future Media Concepts Video Creators University. We'll see how that goes. I'd only fly in on a Friday, stay overnight Friday, go to the events on Saturday all day, and come home Sunday morning, fly back Sunday morning. We'll see how that goes. And then the Creative Summit's going to be forthcoming. They'll be making announcements about that. It's different. I'll tell you this. It's different than it has been any other year. It is a combination of, as you might expect, just like the university is, it's a combination of virtual and in person. But we'll have to see as that unfolds and as Future Media Concepts releases their information. I won't release it for them, of course. I loved it when I found the digital media production at my local community college. It has been Apple and Pro Apps ever since. There you go. There you go. I taught video production at the local community college in Westminster, and it was agnostic. They used Premiere. I had to study Premiere, catch up on it. This is years ago. But I could teach anything I wanted. So I taught Premiere because that's what everybody had on the computers and stuff. But I'd bring stuff in from Final Cut Pro. And they'd say, wow, that's really great. How did you do that? And I say, well, that was done on Final Cut Pro. So I can maybe converted a few people to Final Cut Pro. I'm not really, I don't really care what you edit with Premiere versus Blackmagic Resolve versus Avid. That doesn't really make any difference to me. I mean, I'd recommend Final Cut, and I'd recommend LumaFusion on the iPad and Blackmagic Resolve for my second tier NLEs. And either one of them I could certainly get by as a top level and an NLE and produce good original content with either one of those, Resolve or LumaFusion, either one. All right, everyone, I guess that's it. Once again, we're talking about Video Creator University. This is for beginning and intermediate people. So most of you are at least intermediate, if not advanced. So, but if I'll get there on Saturday, I'll do as much live streaming as possible. We'll have to see how that goes. You'll be able to support me if I do indeed go there by buymeacoffee.com. I had a lot of support going to NAB. People supported me a couple $100 worth, I believe. So I also had sponsors at NAB. I had 2 sponsors at NAB to get me there and back. I have a student teacher license copy of CS6 and I have Blackmagic and LumaFusion. So I have a sealed box of CS something. It's the old days when I did it on discs, but it's a Windows version. I never opened it. I had it from a company I worked at years and years ago. I guess I should sell it. I don't know how that works nowadays. For masking, I've been using DaVinci Resolve 18 Beta 5, and for Final Cut Pro for everything else, I'm still learning both. There you go. Same with me. I'm still learning DaVinci Resolve 18 Beta 5. Learning is forever. Absolutely it is. Wanted to say thanks again for winning Audio Design Desk on your show. ADD is offering an hour free tutorial. They are a great company. They most certainly are. Their product is very, very impressive. All right, everyone. My name is Richard Taylor, as you know. And you can support these live streams over there at buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. So I did a big push for that when I was going to NAB, and everybody went over there and supported me. For incidental things, if I indeed go to Los Angeles for the university event, Video Creator University event, then I'll need support then too. You can buy me coffees and bagels and stuff, and I'll do my live streaming from there. Mine is for Apple. If yours is sealed, you could eBay it or something. It is sealed. It's Windows. But how does that work? Does Adobe allow that license to be activated now when they're subscription only? Ad is my next purchase and their bridge. You can try Ad out for 30 days. They have a 30-day trial. It's also, you can buy the product or you can do a subscription. So you can try it out for 30 days, try it. I have a copy, but it's an incredible app. Absolutely incredible. Those people are it's a very sophisticated, well thought out app. Mark says yes. Yes, you mean if I have a sealed copy with the serial number, it can be activated? Is that what you're telling me? It's a Windows. I'm not going to open it, and I don't have any Windows machines in my house, so I'm not going to use it. But if somebody can use it, I certainly would sell it to them. It's been a long time. I guess it's CS6. So you can still activate those old serial numbers. They must honor existing licenses, serials, or what have you. That's very interesting. Now, of course, it's an old version, but very good. You're right. That's what I figured. I just never got around to selling it, so I'll have to do that. I'll have to pull it out here one time. All right, everyone. I think we're going to get out of here. This is Final Cut TV. My name is Richard Taylor, as you know. Go there, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Richard Taylor TV, Facebook, Richard Taylor TV, Twitter, Richard Taylor TV. I've just done that. Instagram, Richard Taylor TV. Now on Instagram, I don't do any Final Cut Pro stuff. I just take pictures when I'm on my walk in the morning. I walk every morning, 7 days a week. I walk. I get up and I have 1 cup of coffee, check Facebook and things, and then I go out for a 2-mile walk. So he says he has purchased his from eBay from a retired teacher in the UK. Okay, I'll have to get around to doing that. I'll put it up on eBay. It is a sealed box, but it is Windows. So everybody, I will talk to everybody later. If there's any future news about anything Final Cut Pro related, you can be sure that I'll be back live on the air. But in my Instagram account is just, I take pictures on my walk. I take pictures of nature and pictures of cats. It's actually short little videos. And since you can't do horizontal videos on Instagram, I just always do just a 10-second vertical video that stays on Instagram. It doesn't go anywhere else. All right, everyone. My name's Richard Taylor. I'll see you the next time. Final Cut TV.